Welcome to Max Asian. 2026 promises to be an absolutely unforgettable year for lovers of Korean dramas. Disney Plus has 10 stories prepared for us that will not only fill our screens, but also our hearts with intense emotions. From fantasy romances to criminal thrillers that will leave you breathless, this list has it all. Get ready, because what's coming is not just entertainment, it's emotional journeys that will remind us why K-dramas have become a worldwide phenomenon. But before we start the video, it would really help me out if you could take a moment to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for your kind support. Number 1. The Remarried Empress. Meet Navie, the most perfect empress the Eastern Empire has ever known. This woman of stunning beauty and absolutely dazzling intelligence has it all: power, respect, and a marriage that seemed completely unbreakable. But here's where it gets interesting. Her husband, Emperor Sovyeshu, asks her for a divorce to elevate his mistress Rashta to the throne, a runaway slave who managed to conquer his heart with her schemes. What would you do in her place? Navie is not a woman who gives up easily or allows anyone to humiliate her. In a completely unexpected twist, she accepts the separation with one condition that will leave everyone absolutely breathless: the right to marry again whomever she chooses. Enter the mysterious and charming Prince Heinrich of the Western Kingdom, who has been deeply in love with her in secret for years. The plot is a vibrant journey of palace, intrigue, painful betrayals, and a healing romance that shows us there's always a second chance to find true happiness. We'll see how Navie rises from the ashes to become an even more powerful empress than before. Number 2. Mary Berry Love. Let me introduce you to Lee Jin, a successful Korean spatial designer whose brilliant career has completely crumbled after a series of devastating failures. After losing absolutely everything, he decides to seek refuge far from the chaos of the city on a remote and picturesque Japanese island. There, he meets Kaori Hirajama, a young and dedicated strawberry farmer who lives a simple but completely meaningful life among her beautiful crop fields. She is absolutely charming, with a warm smile that brightens even the grayest and darkest days. Here's where it gets interesting. Although they don't speak the same language, love begins to blossom between them in the most unexpected and tender way. The language barrier becomes the perfect setting for funny and absolutely adorable moments that will completely melt your heart. This story shows us that true love doesn't need words to express itself or borders to limit it. Can these two wounded hearts find the healing they so desperately need? A romantic comedy that celebrates cultural differences and reminds us that sometimes destiny takes us exactly where we need to be. Number 3. A Shop for Killers, Season 2. Ji-an returns stronger and more determined than ever in this highly anticipated second season. After surviving the absolute chaos of the first installment, our protagonist has gone from being a confused student to the legitimate and completely lethal heir of her uncle's shop. But here's the real problem. The dangerous Babylon organization won't rest until they completely destroy her and take everything. This new installment delves deeper into Uncle Jin Man's mysterious past, who surprisingly is still very much alive against all odds. The plot expands to a completely global scale with the arrival of Japanese mercenaries who bring new threats and absolutely unexpected alliances. Ji-an will have to handle real weapons and master much more advanced combat tactics, proving that her uncle's blood runs through her veins stronger than ever. Can she survive this open war against enemies that seem to multiply endlessly? The return of fan-favorite characters like Pa Sin and Mihai ensures that the top-tier choreographed action remains the hallmark of this incredible series. Number 4. Portraits of Delusion. This fascinating series transports us to mysterious Korea of 1935, where art and terror merge in an absolutely masterful and unsettling way. A humble painter named Yoon Yi-ho receives the strangest and most disturbing commission of his entire life to portray an enigmatic woman who seems not to have aged a single day in several decades. Song Jong-hwa is a creature of hypnotic and chilling beauty who hides a dark and completely bloodthirsty secret. She asks him for something absolutely disturbing: to paint her as a 70-year-old woman. Here's what's most shocking. As the artist works concentrating on his work, he begins to experience terrifying visions that question everything he thought he knew about reality itself. Is she really a vampire? Or is there something even more sinister and terrifying behind her apparent immortality? The chemistry between both protagonists promises moments of romantic tension mixed with gothic horror that will completely give you goosebumps. We'll see how this painter immerses himself in a psychological game of desire and survival from which he may never escape. Number 5. The Awakening. Choi Woo-shik plays a completely ordinary young man whose life changes drastically when he stumbles upon a mysterious and absolutely ancient stone. Upon coming into contact with this strange object, supernatural powers and superhuman physical abilities awaken in him that he never imagined possessing even in his wildest dreams. Here's where it gets interesting. He discovers that his destiny is deeply linked to a secret organization that manages the appearance of colossal giants on Earth. These terrible beings threaten to absolutely destroy everything we know and love deeply. Our protagonist will have to learn to control his new and dangerous abilities while facing the moral dilemma of what it really means to be special in a world that desperately needs real heroes. Is he prepared to carry such responsibility on his shoulders? The series promises top-tier visual effects that will leave you completely impressed and speechless. Each epic battle against these titans will be a visual spectacle absolutely unprecedented in Korean television. An exciting narrative that mixes heroic action with profound questions about personal sacrifice and the true identity of the human being. Number 6. Goldland. Let me introduce you to Kim Hee-ju, an airport security agent whose life takes a completely unexpected and dangerous turn. By a twist of fate, she ends up with a shipment of gold bars belonging to an absolutely dangerous international smuggling network. Far from returning them as she should, her character allows herself to be seduced by the tempting shine of the precious metal, unleashing a deadly hunt where betrayal is the only currency of exchange. Here's the real drama. Jang Wook, a man from the underworld with a criminal past, approaches her with intentions as bright as they are absolutely suspicious. Does he genuinely want to help her, or is he simply planning to take all the loot for himself? Director Park also appears, a key man in the casino and mafia network who won't hesitate for a second to eliminate anyone who stands in his way to total wealth. The plot is a puzzle of criminal suspense where honor doesn't exist and each character shows the darkest side of human nature. How far would you go to keep a fortune that doesn't belong to you? A tense story. Number 7. Made in Korea. Season 2. Baek Ki-tae and prosecutor Jang Ji-yeon face off fiercely again in this second season that promises to be even more intense and explosive. Set in turbulent Seoul of 1979, the plot continues the fierce collision between these two men who represent completely opposite sides of law and morality. Hyun Bin returns as the ambitious KCIA agent with a dark and absolutely dangerous double life that could destroy everything, while Jung Woo-sung plays the incorruptible prosecutor who possesses an animal instinct to detect lies and corruption. Here's what's most shocking. The scale of the conflict dramatically escalates, exploring how unbridled ambition for power absolutely distorts the principles of any human being, regardless of their initial intentions. In this era of constant espionage and deadly betrayals, no one is truly safe from falling into the temptation of power. Who will win this epic battle between good and evil? New characters enter the game, bringing unexpected alliances and much more dangerous enemies. We'll see how these two titans inevitably collide. Number 8. I Am a Sinner. Park Seo-joon completely moves away from his usual romantic heartthrob image to transform into Pang Yi, a man deeply marked by tragedy from a very young age. The story immerses us in the dangerous underworld of the 80s, where survival has no clear rules and violence is the everyday language of the darkest streets. After being the sole survivor of a bloody and brutal assault on a pawn shop, Pang Yi makes a decision that will absolutely change his life forever. He seizes a shipment of stolen gold without thinking twice. This desperate act launches him headfirst into the ruthless world of drug trafficking, where he must join marginal gangs and play a completely deadly game of constant betrayals and absolutely unbridled ambitions. Here's where it gets interesting. He shares the screen with the imposing Ma Dong-suk, who plays Sadandak, a fierce and loyal fighter who will become his only real hope of survival in this hell he created himself. Can Pang Yi escape the chaos? We'll see how ambition consumes him. Number 9. Bloody Flower. Imagine a serial killer who justifies all his crimes with the most disturbing argument you could hear. He's desperately searching for the cure for absolutely all incurable diseases of all humanity. Rowoon completely leaves behind his sweet image to transform into Woon, a medical genius turned cold criminal who performs brutal and unforgivable human experiments. Prosecutor Cha Ji-yoon, played by Keum Sai-rak, is a determined woman absolutely filled with righteousness who relentlessly pursues this monster, seeking the death penalty to stop his terrible atrocities once and for all. But here's the real moral dilemma. A desperate lawyer appears whose seriously ill daughter depends completely on the killer's medical discoveries to survive. Is it morally right to let a monster live if he's the only real hope to save thousands of innocent lives? This masterful psychological thriller forces us to question our own moral convictions in an absolutely uncomfortable and direct way. What would you do in the lawyer's place? A story that never offers easy answers. Number 10. Knock Off. Kim Soo-hyun plays Kim Seong-joon, an absolutely ordinary man who, after losing everything during the devastating IMF financial crisis, becomes the undisputed king of replicas. The plot immerses us in the dizzying world of luxury counterfeits, where ambition knows absolutely no limit or moral barrier. After being left completely jobless and hopeless, this desperate office worker begins to lead a massive black market of imitation products that grows exponentially until it becomes a feared and respected global empire. Alongside him appears Jo Bo-ah as his former romantic partner and now police officer specialized in intellectual property crimes. Here's where it gets interesting. A tense game of cat and mouse is created between them, loaded with romantic and professional tension simultaneously. Can she arrest the man she once loved deeply? Despite the controversies surrounding the project, the interest in seeing Kim Soo-hyun in this anti-hero role is stronger than ever. We'll see how he builds an empire on lies. That's it for the video. These are the 10 Korean dramas that Disney Plus will bring to our screens for the joy of all fans. I hope this list excited you as much as it did me. If you liked the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, comment which of these dramas you're looking forward to most, share with your friends, and give me a big like. See you in the next video. See you soon.